Welcome to the Startup Hub. Please don't forget to subscribe on our channel in order to see more videos on anything to do with startups, how to write business plans, effective marketing, business development, operations, recruiting boards, anything and everything you need for building a startup, including how to build effective business plans and an ultimate guide to do that. So please subscribe and continue to enjoy the different vignettes gathered over many years of experience in startups and entrepreneurial positions in large companies. So today we're going to cover um, how to establish an effective operations foundation in a startup. So we're covering operations today. For some, a boring subject, but basically an extremely important topic to get your organization working as it should. So to get cracking here, in the dynamic realm of startups, establishing a robust operational foundation is paramount for long-term success. The effective or efficiency and effectiveness of a startup, um, the startup's operation directly impacts its ability to navigate challenges, scale sustainably, and deliver value to customers. Without effective operations, none of this can take place, and startups will just not be able to function, or you won't be able to scale long term. So operations is extremely important for a company. Obviously, sales, you need revenue, cash flow coming in, but without effective operations, basically the startup is toast in the long term. So understanding operations in a startup context, um, it is important that we achieve operational excellence beyond just logistical efficiency, right? Operations is not just logistics. It actually encompasses the entire spectrum of and processes of a company that drive the business, from basically supply chain management, production, customer service, internal workflows. The entire operation from beginning to end becomes the backbone that supports the startup trajectory and growth, right? So it is really important that we have clear operational objectives as first steps, of building an operational foundation is by actually defining clear and measurable objectives, right? So it's really important that as a startup, we sort of align internally with our operational goals, with the broader business and the entire management team of the company, in order to have measurable objectives, right? Operations has to and can be measured, right? So you can have, KPIs or metric indicators that are going to give you a holistic view and single version of the truth of how your operational excellence is working. So, whether it's achieving efficiency, reducing lead times and manufacturing, improving product quality, or enhancing customer satisfaction, all of these can result on metrics that produce data that you can measure, store, and gauge, that are going to be a really good gauge for the management team and also for reporting to the board of directors and potential investors, right? All of these objectives will serve as guiding principles for shaping and continuing to evolve and dynamically pivot, if you have to, on your operational strategy. It is important that this foundation leverages technology and automation. In today's digital age, whatever strategy or methodology you use in a startup can serve and provide an unprecedented view that with technology help you visualize how your operational excellence area is working. So by implementing scalable and adaptable technology solutions, um, that can give you an efficient and accurate view, is going to help you automate all these different repetitive tasks that not only are going to help reduce the risk of human error, but also free up valuable resources for more strategic initiatives down the road, right? So establishing standard operating procedures or SOPs, it's going to be very, very important for your company. Um, so, and this can be achieved by having and building a foundation of accurate documentation and a really good standard of operational procedures or best practices that are going to give you the fundamentals for consistency and scalability. And with your SOPs, you're going to be able to provide with a good framework for employees to follow. But should you be going to any approvals um, that are required, uh, then it will provide the company with a sort of operational excellence that you can use for various approval or certification requirements that really ensure the consistency on the processes and how they're executed, yeah, uniformly, right? Whether it's ISO certification or whatever. All of this, won't be possible unless you have a really good operational excellence and accountability that gives you that never ending and never ending improvement. I am a student and a believer of the Edward W. Deming's um, total quality management approach. And when it comes to operational excellence, uh, to me, that's been a very good lodestar and beacon to follow on the practices. So I will highly recommend for you to read this and study that. It can only help you have a very good operational excellence in total quality management. For those of you who don't know who Edward Demings used to be, he was sent after World War II to Japan to sort of rebuild the nation and put practices in place to rebuild their businesses and their economy. And the Demings Quality Award for a Japanese company is one of the most coveted awards that anyone can receive. And Japan was able to rebuild their economy following the doctrine and teachings of um, of Demings to a T, and became a powerhouse in manufacturing. So I really, really highly recommend you reading this. That is going to give you really good, a really good foundation to, whether you use agile or scalable infrastructure methodologies on dynamic landscapes, these are, you know, fantastic key attributes that a successful operations, team or process in any company will have that can help them function effectively and efficiently. um, you know, any infrastructure that you put in place needs to or should be designed to accommodate rapid growth and changes in the on demand. So does this is scalable technology? So whether it's agile or the Toyota techniques or methodologies, all of them can serve useful. But it is important that you study that to understand what's going to work best for your operations and which adaptable organizational structure do I need to put in place as the components for this agile operational foundation. So in the Demings training, they speak a great deal of cultivating a cultural of continuous improvement, right? Of CANI, constant and never-ending improvement, meaning that your operations is never perfect, and there is always room to make things better, faster, and with better quality, right? So cultivating this culture of never-ending improvement is going to encourage your employees or your team members to identify inefficiencies, propose solutions or act on the fly, and participate on the process optimization that's going to foster a really good dynamic and proactive environment that with regular review is going to continue to refine that operational process and ensure that your startup remains agile and responsive to this different and ever-changing market dynamics. In doing so, this is going to give you a better supply chain resilience because you're going to be able to take a bit of a broad stroke brush and not be dependent on single suppliers, but have a multitude of suppliers, learn, establish best practices, and for those that are making product-based business decisions, um, it's super important that supply chain resilience is put in place. That's going to help you diversify your supply base, in establishing long-term relationships, but you risk mitigate and hit your bets so that you don't get caught with all eggs in one basket, basically. And the strategy is going to be essential for a resilient supply chain that's going to give you that ability to adapt and prepare for any disruptions or changes that can hinder supplier issues. And this is going to be the key for a really effective operations in ever-changing market conditions or geopolitical changes and so on. So these are really, really good foundations for you to consider and set up. Talent development and cross-functional collaboration is really important. So I believe that you should be cross-pollinating people and rotating people in different areas so that they learn from the different positions and they rotate. So investment in talent development is crucial for building a skill and adaptable workforce that's going to give you that functional, cross collaborative approach from the various departments that work seamlessly but together. So you eliminate that silo approach and they have a holistic way of being good at something, but also looking at other people's boxes. Sometimes to think out of the box, you need to look at other people's boxes. So this collaborative approach not only enhances operational efficiency, but also contributes to this holistic understanding of your business that's going to foster innovation, strategic thinking. Implementing key KPIs and operations is obviously a must. It's going to give you benchmarks for evaluating your success, but also metrics to gauge your operational processes and that excellence going on in there. It's also going to give you metrics for inventory turnover, order fulfillment times, error rates, efficiency, effectiveness in the operational side, tracking and analyzing KPIs, and it help you with decision-making improvements. To conclude, I mean, setting up an effective operations, it's a strategic must. It's, imperative for any startup, aspiring to thrive in a competitive landscape. Okay, by defining clear objectives, leveraging technology, establishing this SOPs, and fostering that, culture of constant and never-ending improvement is going to ensure supply chain resilience that is going to be helping you invest on talent development and the implementation again of these KPIs that are going to keep changing. All of this is going to help you build a robust infrastructure that will be not only the foundation for growth that supports day-to-day activities, but also is going to position your startup for sustainable scalability and growth and control growth, right? Control growth is really important in a startup so that you get to a point where suddenly you're too many and you're out of control and you reach growth, but then you start diving on the opposite direction. You want to be able to avoid that. A lot of companies sort of cross that line where suddenly, the difference between being in control and out of control is it's a really, really fine line. So you don't want to get caught on that. So operational excellence, isn't just a functional necessity. It's basically the engine that's going to propel the entire operational and enterprise forward towards efficiency, adaptability, and profitability in the future. So I hope this helps. Thank you very much again for your time. Please, again, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share with your friends. Thanks.